Now, if you truly believe in God, then you would know that God alone is the maker of angels. So in the story Star Witness, which is about a living God who had an angel son who says one of his many names includes Job. Therefore, Job has to be an angel. So let's see if we could find that in the Bible. Let's read. And Sariah, he became father to Joab. Now, Joab is just another name for Jobab, also named for Job. Now, who is he? Sarias is the father of Esdras, because in the second book of the prophet Esdras, the son of Sarias, Azarias, Helkias, Sadomias, Sadok, Achitob, Phanes, and Esdras is also the son of Heli. So who is Heli? Heli is Jesus' grandfather. So Jesus himself began to teach about 30 years of age. The son of Joseph, whom is the son of Heli. In other words, Job is just another name for Joseph. Now, who is Joseph? Joseph is from the city of David because he was of the house and family of King David. Don't forget, Haile Selassie I is literally the king of all kings, and he has the title of the root of David within his title. In other words, Haile Selassie is literally King David, who also goes by the name of Heli, also goes by the name of Jacob. He has many names: Azarias, Sarias.
In ancient Ethiopia, a prophecy was whispered: a king would rise, bearing the titles of divinity. Then came Haile Selassie, crowned in glory and might. The people marveled, but the faithful proclaimed, "Behold, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, for it was written, I saw heaven opened, and behold a white horse, a ruler of righteousness, a living testament." His name echoed through history, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Ethiopia trembled with joy, hearts filled with divine recognition. As Revelation foretold, he came faithful and true, crowned in righteousness, a beacon of hope, a fulfillment of ancient words. The faithful witnessed God's promise and declared, "Blessed be the Most High,
who is supposed to be here now at the end of time. So as you can clearly see, he's supposed to be here now. So I, Esdras, receive a charge of the Lord, in other words, a charge from Haile Selassie upon the Mount Oreb, also known as Mount Sinai, that I should go unto Israel. And when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the commandment of the Lord. So look for your shepherd that shall come in the end of the world. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. Now, who said that? Who told you that his father is here? Job. So who is Job? In the book of Job, God's own spirit made me, and the Almighty's own breath proceeded to bring me to life. In other words, Job is an angel, and he is the son of Elias, also known as Elijah. So in Luke 9 verse 33, you will find Jesus and Moses in their supposed New Testament. In other words, the original Bible was not in an older New Testament format. That's why you find in Moses in the New Testament with Jesus. And he's also in the Old Testament with Moses and Joshua, because Jesus is Joshua. And as they were being separated from him, Peter said to Jesus, "Instructor, it is fine for us to be here. So let us erect 3 tents, one for Moses and one for Elijah." And if you read in a different Bible, you will notice that Elijah is just another name for Elias. So they answered, said John the Baptist, but some say Elias. In other words, St. John the Divine One is just another name for Elias. So did you know this?
Islam. Okay. Because he found out that the Nation of Islam was being financially subsidized by a man by the name of Harold Lafayette Hunt, H.L. Hunt, a multi-billionaire oil man out of Texas.
And he's the reason why Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam. But in the meantime, to go to Biblical Defense Channel on YouTube. Then you can see the correlation and scroll down the star witness 303 or 305.